Hey guys, got a little announcement for everyone. If you watched episode 34, you're gonna have already heard most of this, but I decided to make a separate video for those of you that aren't really watching the Direwolf pack. I'm taking a break from Direwolf pack. I mean, I've got all this fancy stuff in here, but there's no challenge left to it for me. Oh, it's because I've got my ring. There's nothing left for me to do in the Direwolf 20 pack. And that's not entirely true. There's plenty of things for me to still do. The thing is, there's nothing I want to do. It's run its course for me. I've done everything I set out to do in it. I kept trying to extend it and, oh, we'll do this, oh, we'll do that, and I let you guys down because I never did get back to those projects. I was going to do immersive engineering, and then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, nah, I don't want to. And that's because, and I don't blame Dire for this. Dire made this pack for entry-level people to learn lots of mods, to learn multiple paths through the game, through the modded community. And he does that in every series he runs. He tries different mods. He puts different combinations together. In every series, I think in his current series he's got 5 different methods of power generation. I only have one. Why? Because I have 7 cloches from industrial. Wait, is it industrial? Immersive engineering. I have 7 cloches, and you know what? You know what I get out of them? I get the same output as an extreme reactor. The only difference is it's infinitely fueled. 7 cloches provide enough canola to be run through all of the processes that the canola needs to become empowered canola oil and run forever. It's self-sustaining, and I ran a little test during the episode. Like I said, if you're not one of the people that watch my Direwolf 20 episodes, or if you're just coming in and haven't had a chance to see, haven't watched it yet, I tested it with a drum that holds 4,000 barrels of oil. And I hooked it to the input line for the generator, for the fuel input line on the generators. So it should have sucked off all of the possible fuel they were getting. The thing is, the reserve tank that I had built into it, which was another one of those 4,000 bucket drums, was refilling fast enough that it would still have a significant amount of oil in it when the other drum filled up, which means as fast as a resonant servo can pump, just as fast as it can pump, I'm producing oil faster. I'm producing oil faster than a resonant servo can pump it. And considering I'm getting almost 30,000 RF per tick out of 22 millibuckets. Remember, 1,000 millibuckets per bucket. I figured out that I'm roughly able to make a bucket of oil every 10 ticks. So let's call it 20 instead of 22. That's what, 50? It's 50, right? 50 times 20? Yeah, I think 50 times 20 is right. That's 50 of those generators I can run. Let me double check that math. Let me get good old calculator out because the math isn't working in my head. Yeah, that's roughly 50 of those generators I can run. So that's, how much power is that? Let's see. 1.5 million RF per tick from 7 cloches. And I would like to point out 7 cloches that are going into improperly configured canola presses, because I have oil barrel, press, oil barrel, press, oil barrel, press, oil barrel. When each press can, if I remember correctly, I believe it can run 3 fermenting barrels by itself. Each one. And each one's only running about 1 1/3. Because it's 3 to 4. 4 barrels, 3 presses is the way the setup is. Oh, and I found out that about 1/3 of the presses that I have set up to run for this, weren't even being powered. I'd messed up the wiring system in there and they weren't even being powered. And I was still outpacing it. So, and I've put them in compact machine blocks, so they're both a block each. All of the canola being produced, which I think I have enough room in there that I could set it up correctly, so that each one of the presses that I was more than keeping up with. That's the thing, those 7 cloches are easily keeping up with. They are stalled because they have more canola in them than they can output. $1.5 million RF. I can't even conceive of a way to use that much RF. To put perspective on that for you guys, just so that you've got a good understanding of it, a well-built 9x9 extreme reactors reactor without a turbine, using gelled cryothium and resonant ender for the mediator mediums, puts out 27,000 ish RF per tick. Or no, yeah, 27,000 ish. So I would need 50 reactors, and they use up a Yellorium quick. And unlike canola, Yellorium doesn't self-replace itself. I mean, there's no endless cycle for it. So how do you compete with that? I mean, even the extreme, not the extreme reactors, the draconic reactor. I watched a video the other day where someone was pushing one of those, and he was getting like 5,000 RF a tick out of it. And the problem with those things is they can just explode and destroy everything. Mine's perfectly safe. It's too powerful. I might come back to the Direwolf 20 pack with some guidelines of things that I'm not allowed to do, like mix canola oil with the advanced reactors or the advanced generators mod. Perhaps I'll set it up so the advanced generators mod can only use syngas. I don't know. I haven't really considered everything through yet on that, on whether I'm even going to come back to the Direwolf 20 pack anytime soon. What I am going to do though is I've got about 100 games on Steam, 50 of which, at least 50 of which, I'm willing to do a video series on. So look for RimWorld. RimWorld's definitely going to be one of them. The new XCOM is definitely going to be one of them. So look forward to seeing both of those. Infinite Skyblock's going to continue, because the Skyblocks, as long as they're done well, run forever. They run until you run out of content. Because unfortunately, in the Direwolf 20 pack, there's still plenty of content. I've run out of content I care about. The Nether, I don't need the Nether. I have a mob farm in the Nether that's got a gas generator in it. I get it set up on the edge of a fortress. I get wither skeletons. I get pigmen. I get blazes. That's all you need from the Nether. There's no continuing need for netherrack. I have a pump and I have a ranged pump, I believe is the name of it, sitting in a lava ocean. From what I understand, it reaches all the way down to bedrock looking for lava on that, not just the surface lava. So it's in the middle of a lava ocean, and I think it mines out up to 2 chunks worth, or a 2 chunk cross section. So that would be a 3x3. Well, if you think about it, that's what, 16 plus 16 plus 16 is what, 32, 48, 48 by 48 by even only 5 deep. That's a lot of lava. And I've got a system set up on it with a ender tank. I don't need to go to the Nether except to move my pump, and that's going to be almost never. So the Nether has no point. The mining dimension, I don't mine anymore. I have machines that do it for me. I don't even need to think about mining anymore. I've got a builder quarry in the Lost Cities area, which decoratively uses quartz blocks so frequently that even if I were to completely run out of quartz and desperately need it, I'd just go turn it on. I'd go turn that on, walk away, leave the game running, go make dinner, go spend half an hour, 45 minutes making dinner, come back, turn it off. I have so much friggin' material. I would have so much quartz that I probably wouldn't run out of it ever again. I have no real desire to make automated infinite everything in this pack, because there's no need to. It's unfortunate because, let's say that I did run out of that quartz. I currently have like 500 stacks of iron. I'm never going to use all that iron. I'll use up all my diamonds way before I get through that iron. And the thing is when I run out of diamonds, if I run out of diamonds because I have my void miner running, if I were to run out of diamonds, I would go again, flip on that builder quarry. By the time I had enough diamonds to be satisfied that I wasn't going to run out again, there's another 100 blocks of iron, 200 blocks of iron. I can't run out. The one thing that I do run out of is tin. And even that's not hard to come by. I mean, realistically, if I were to turn the game on, turn all of my quarrying if I was to upgrade my void miner, or even upgrade my void miner and build a second void miner, or just build a tier 3 void miner next to my existing tier 2 void miner and just pump them into the same thing, leave the game on, go take a shower, go make dinner, and I would have more material than I needed. It's not, nothing's a challenge. I was going to work on bees to show you all the magical ways you could make things with bees. The thing is in the time it takes to make all those things with bees in this pack, I don't need it. I already have it. I have it a different way. It's, as it is, I have void upgrades on storage units because that many of that item is more than I need. Um, Unfortunately, the Direwolf 20 pack let me down this time. The 1.7.10 one was really good. The 10 dot the 10 the 1.10 pack I really enjoyed. I wish I had been recording that one instead of this one. I may, don't take this as a promise, I may work on building my own mod pack. And one of the things I would have to do is learn how to use recipe tweaks and stuff so that I could prevent myself from doing things. Because one of the things I would like to do, and I haven't checked the configuration files in the Direwolf pack because I don't want to mess with them. If I'm going to be doing that, I'm going to be making my own pack. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to nerf the hell out of the Advanced Generators mod. I'm either going to make it so that it can't use fuels, other fuels, or that it's super inefficient at using those fuels. One of the fuels that's available that it requires a lot more infrastructure and work to get going and work properly is the refined fuel. Refined fuel I may leave in because I found myself running, when I was running that one, I was running out of fuel a lot. I was having to babysit it. I was having to go nudge it and manage it and work with it. And I mean, one of my favorite mods, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's not available, Blood Magic. Let's spell this right. Blood Magic's not in here. It's one of my favorite mods. Another one of my favorite mods that's not around, although I have heard rumors it is coming for the 1.10, so I may jump my happy butt back to 1.10 mod packs for a while. It's Thaumcraft. Thaumcraft was one of my favorite mods. As hard as it was, as grindy as it was, as pretty much pointless as it was. I mean, it was there to do. It didn't really... There was nothing it did that you couldn't do with machines instead. So in mixed packs where it was tech and magic, Thaumcraft was fun. It didn't add a dimension. It didn't add bosses. It added a couple biomes. One of them that was kind of a pain. But I also got to set up things. I actually, one time, I kept creating worlds until I found, and I would spend a half an hour flying around in creative mode in each seed until I found these. They had the enchanted, I believe it was Enchanted Forest, and the corruption line, Taint, and like I said, I think it was Enchanted Forest, or it could have been Magic Forest. I don't know, but it was a magical forest and a taint biome. I would find where the two came together on a map and had a decent other land in between them, and I would build on the more towards the Magic Forest side, but not in the Magic Forest, because that had its own risks. Wisps in particular. and I would build a little settlement, and I would kidnap villagers to come live in it, and I would build a little town. Um, and I did ingenious little crafty things to keep the villagers the hell out of my stuff because they would be in the way and their noises were irritating. Um, and then I would encourage the taint to spread into the plains or whatever biome it was I was building in it. Because even if it wasn't plains to start with, it was a plains by the time I was done with it. Because if it was a forest, I cut down all the trees. Um, and I would put up it would be, what I would do is I would intentionally seed the taint to come after the village or be close enough to the taint that because it had an auto spread mechanic. So every however many ticks, it would test a random number generator. Did this block next to this untainted block next to the taint biome, did it turn into taint? If it did, the taint spread. Now, I don't remember if it changed the biome of that tile, but every tainted tile or every tainted block had a chance to spread to another block. And the thing is when you were doing your magic in Thaumcraft, if you screwed up, you could make taint. You could cause a taint biome to exist. And I did that in one of my early playthroughs. I built a wizard tower off in the distance so I could look at it because I spent a lot of time creating it. And I tried to automate it. And I didn't do such a good job at automating it, but I didn't realize that at the time, that it was overflowing and spilling taint, because it was automated. I didn't go over there. And then it stopped working right. I would tell it to do something, and it didn't do it. So I went over there to find out what was going on, and going over there, the chunks updated as I walked over there, and it was encrusted in taint. And that's what had happened, was a solid taint block had formed in the middle of one of the places that I was transferring stuff, that I was using like a dropper or something to drop items. And it had destroyed the automation. And then I had to figure out how to clean up taint. And it poisons you, and it was spreading, and because I'd gone over and updated the chunks, all of a sudden it was spreading towards my main base, because now it was active. That was fun. That was fun, chasing through the research tree and the build tree, and because I had to replicate most of the stuff that was in my tower to fix my tower. And I never got it fixed, but I didn't give up on it. Even though I never fixed the tower, what I did was I contained the tower. I figured out a way without just drilling straight down to bedrock all the way around it in a circular path so that it couldn't escape from there. Using Thaumcraft mechanics, I figured out how to prevent it from spreading any farther. But I don't know if I did prevent it from spreading any farther, or if it was just spreading underground and I didn't know it. But it was fun. It was entertaining. And that's supposed to be coming. So maybe I'll curate a 1.10 pack when Thaumcraft is available. Thaumcraft, Blood Magic, Ender.io. These are some of my favorite mods that haven't made it to 1.12 yet. Or maybe Blood Magic has and it's just not in this pack. I don't know. But between that, if I can get my internet upgraded to a internet that will work for it, I may start streaming on Twitch. Probably won't have a face cam. I don't understand why people do those. I don't want to see people's faces while I'm watching them play video games. It blocks part of the screen. Um, Now, like on Minecraft here where I'm playing, putting it up over my map would probably be a good place for it because you don't need to see the map so much. I do, but you don't. But I don't know if it shows up there all the time. I just don't know. So it's what it is. Still gonna play Infinite Skyblock. Gonna rotate some of my games off Steam through this. Look for RimWorld. Look for XCOM, the new XCOM. Possibly the Bureau. I have that one as well. I have a multitude of games on Steam that I really enjoy. I may look at some of the free games that I have or have access to that you guys may enjoy. But I'm gonna go Splattercat style. Splattercat's someone I've been watching for quite some time. He does little 5-10 episode chunks of games. I mean, just the other day I don't know when he played it because I didn't pay attention to that, but I watched it. He played Oregon Trail. Not Oregon Trail. Organ, like as in liver and spleen. And it's Oregon Trail zombie apocalypse style. And it's a simple, stupid game. And it was so much fun watching him play it. He really inspired me with that maybe I need to branch out away from just a single game and see about maybe finding my place on YouTube. And I hope you guys will be with me on that and help me find my place on YouTube. So, give me some feedback, guys. I know there's only about 10 of you so far. You guys may not watch this. Give me some feedback. Give me some push. Give me a direction. Because I'm just going to be going in lots of directions for now until something more takes hold. I guess that's all I really have to say, but if you want to see me doing more of what Splattercat's doing, playing all the new indie games as they come out and giving my retrospective on them, I can't afford that on my own. There's Patreon. There's a new one that I'm going to be setting up an account for to go with this new thrust at things that's called, I think it's called Buy Me a Cup of Coffee is the name of it. And it's literally a one-time like $5 donation. Or however many dollar donation. Like I said, I haven't really looked into it. I heard about it on one of my 3D printing channels. The 3D printing nerd, Joel Telling, if you guys watch him. He was talking about it the other day. But I found myself dreading wanting to record the Direwolf pack, so I kept finding other things to want to do instead. When it came time I was running out of episodes of Infinite, I had no problem sitting down playing it. So I think rather than drag you guys through me being bored on the Direwolf 20 pack, I'm going to switch it up to something that I'm enjoying and hopefully you'll enjoy. So, granted, this has been a rather lengthy update. This was just supposed to be a quick what's up, what's new video. But come watch, come enjoy, come see what I'm going to bring to the table. I may, when I get to the point where I'm streaming, maybe look for 3D printing videos. I've got another 3D printer here that I'm building, and maybe I'll give you my rundown on that. I actually just deleted a video of me talking about all this because I looked down at my video timer. I had been talking for almost an hour and a half. That's kind of why my voice sounds scratchy right now, as I went, nope, never mind, deleted that one and started over. But the succinct details of what we're doing. Direwolf 20 packs going away for now. Not deleting the world. Not going to delete the world. Maybe we'll come back to this world and delete some infrastructure that exists and force myself to go other ways. Maybe I'll take out my canola farm and force myself to work with syngas, and which is going to severely hamper my power at the moment. And I'll find various things to make it interesting and challenging. And if you guys have a suggestion, throw it out there. No more Tinker's Tools as a challenge. Something to make this worth doing again. Something that's going to make this how am I going to get around this problem? But I think we're probably going to have to restart. Now, I am going to be taking extensive notes on this building. I'm going to be taking screenshots and writing down measurements and everything on this thing, because if I start a new world with the Direwolf pack, I am going to start in creative mode, and I'm rebuilding this bad boy, because this bad boy is beautiful, and I don't think that it got enough credit and time. If anyone knows how to use the spectator cam, I've seen people do time lapses where they've got a camera wrong way, say up over there on the mob farm, showing what's being, and it's just a constant camera sitting there, so you can see what's being built, but it's a time lapse. If you know how to do that, let me know. I would love to build this, even if it's in creative mode. I would love to build this on camera for you guys. But to be fair, building this the first time took about 4 hours. I'm not going to make you guys go through 8 episodes of watching me build this thing in real time. It's slow, it's boring. I mean, it sounds slow and boring to me. But new games, new future, possible streaming if I can get everything together for it. And yeah, let's see what we can do with this, guys. Let's see where we can go from here. If not, I guess I'll just bumble my way through what I'm doing, and maybe I'll pick up a following, and maybe I won't. But we'll see how it goes. You guys stick with me, and we'll see where we end up. I'll catch you in the next game. Bye for now.